Hey there, music makers. How's it going? Got another post for you. Hope you guys are doing well and getting through these hard times through Clusterfuck 22. Anyways, so I think this week I kind of wanted to brush on a couple of things. One of the things I wanted to do is go over my book, my psalm book. I had a request to do that to get on notes on the psalm book, so I did a little brush. We'll do a little brush over with that. Also, too, and I had a very good question that I asked, and I wish I can remember the music maker's name, but I don't remember what it is. So. But anyways, he was asking about line array PA systems, with like the Bose systems, and I guess there's a lot of people who use those, and there's not a darn thing wrong with them, man. They're great. They're good. They're not my preference. I've used them before by Bose. I had a pretty elaborate system. I didn't have the system, but the house up in the Raptors up in Mammoth Lakes, California, years back, they'd been out for a few years, but they were fairly new. The Bose line array, PAs. So, anyways. Yeah, there's not a darn thing wrong. They really fill the room really good. It's the tower. I'll probably post a picture on here. It's the tower with all the little 3-inch speakers going all the way down the column, and then they have a woofer, bass woofer at the bottom, and they're great. I've heard people use them, and they're good. They're a little different than the traditional, two ways that you have, either 10 or 12 or 15 two ways that you have in the PAs on your system out there. I don't think they have as much presence, but they do fill the room and people hear them. Also, too, I don't think they're good for a large room or a medium, or like a very big room, or or like even outdoor, and you're going to be pushing out some sound for a few hundred people. I don't know if those are efficient enough, but I know they work good and they fill the room. I think they're actually probably work better. Not that they don't work outside, but they probably work better for inside because of the way they're, at least Bose. I know Rockville, I think, makes one, PV, or there's probably a dozen now. There's probably a dozen that use those line array PAs that make those things. So they're good. There's nothing wrong with them. It's not what I prefer. I have to have something that really moves air, even in a small gig, because even in a small gig I just use one two-way, just one speaker. So yeah, that works fine for me on that. And if I'm in a small room, one speaker, that's all I need. But when you get into a little bit bigger, a room, couple hundred or more, I'll use both speakers, and I'll always use both speakers outside. And like I said, I've used Sherwin Vegas, I've used EVs, I used PV, I've used Yamahas are good speakers. Also, I've used JBLs. JBLs are great speakers. There's nothing wrong with it, but when I came across, I don't know where I was playing at or whatever, or I think it was with the band, and I noticed his columns he had hanging from the trusses up there, and I'm going, the QSCs, I never heard of those. And sure enough, I asked the sound guy, and he said, those things are amazing. They're just, I don't know what it is with QSCs. I don't know what it is. There's a sweetness. I wish I could put it in more understanding terms, but not only does it push air, it's punchy, it's got great presence, it projects, but it's got a sweetness to it. I can't put my finger how to, you know, JBLs don't quite have that. They don't have that. But I'm not knocking JBLs down. They're great. JBLs are great speakers. But yeah, so my preference is QSCs. Yes, are they pricey? Hell yeah. You have to usually give up your firstborn to get them. I think they run miners. I think I got mine for $7 something 6 years ago, but now they're up to $1,000, I think, or something. You know, everything's gone up thanks to Clusterfuck 22. So anyways, yeah, I really love those. I just like, you know, when you're performing, you know, why not shoot for the best sound possible, right? Why not? I understand everybody's on a budget, including me. There's some things I'd like to upgrade, but I can't right now. There's just no way. I can't. It's just, everything's so expensive, so high. But anyways, okay, so I basically make my notes on the right-hand side of the upper right-hand corner of the page. But sometimes, depending on the lyrics and how they're set up, like this one here, you know, it's got a lot of lyrics. But anyway, so I usually, you can see right here, I use a Rag-A. In the Beat Buddy, I use the genre Rag-A first one, number 1. It says Rag-A number 1. And then it goes to, and then underneath I put T as for tempo. That's my own thing, equals, or mine, you know, and put a little space. And then what tempo? 73. There's the only markings. The only thing I add to that, really, is I might write over here, like, if I want to use a certain sound of a kit, because you can get into different sounds. You're still in Rag-A 1, but you can hit your middle button, push it down, and you can go to a Pro Kit brushes or heavy rock drums, but with the Rag-A beat, right? So that's basically all I use. And so let's see, let me go to the next page here. Let's flip to the next page. And we have this right there. See, those are my markings. I'm using this song here, Cars, Best Friend's Girl. I haven't done that in a while. But anyway, so I use Rock 12 in the genre, and the tempo is 110. It's that simple. But these are my tabs, so you can see right there, hopefully the camera's catching that. You could see the Beatles, right? So we got Neil Diamond. So I got, you know, I only put tabs for the artist. Like if I've got more than 3 songs of that artist, I'll make a tab for it and put them in the book. And then it goes, you know, of course I got the classic. There's classic, right? Cat Stevens, I got about 5 of those songs. Yeah, so that's how it's pretty simple, pretty easy. No, it's not rocket science. Just get yourself a big binder and you're set to go. Your book is organized. So that's about it, you guys. Quick update for me. I just got a phone call a few minutes ago. This is my week where I do a Thursday at the Social in Big Bear, and then in Fawnskin on Saturday. I just did that, but this coming up week I'm doing the Social on Thursday, and then back at Fawnskin for an early chili cook-off at 11 o'clock, so 11 to 1, 2 hours, 2-hour gig, and then so that day's a double. I'm pulling a double, yeah. Dude, I don't like it. I don't like doing doubles, but sometimes you gotta make money and pay the bills, right? And so I don't know. Yeah, I don't really like doing doubles. I like to do 1 show per day, that's it, and give it all I got. But not this Saturday, so I'm doing the chili cook-off for 11 to 1, and then I go back, and then I go to the Social, and then the week after that, I'm back on Saturday at the Moose. So yeah, I'm blessed. Don't get me wrong, I'm so blessed. So blessed to have this community that I have, that we got going on here, you know, on the channel. You guys always have great questions, and you guys, it just makes me feel so, it just fills me up with so much joy when I hear these stories of you guys you know, you got out of the Army and you've been a sleeper. You're a musician, but you've been a sleeper for 5 years or whatever, and you go, you know what, I want to get the guitar out and make some noise and put some smile on people's faces and put a few bucks in your pocket. That brings me so much joy to hear that, and there's a lot of you guys that are doing that, haven't been doing it for a while or whatever, or you're in a band and you're like, that's another thing I wanted to just touch a quick touch on before I sign off here, is that when I started going solo, when I was at Jeffrey James, it was called Jeffrey, I changed my name because I was using my brother's middle name. He passed away in '96, so we were brothers. Everybody knew us in Hollywood, so I took his middle name and put it behind my first. Long story short. So anyways, and I kept Jeffrey James forever. And when I had the band, when I had different bands going on or whatever. So it was always Jeffrey James, Jeffrey James. Then I realized, you know, trying to get out and market a little bit, there's a lot of Jeffrey James out there. There's not as many Jeffrey Deans. And Jeffrey Dean's my real name, right? Jeffrey Dean is my real name. It's actually my first and middle name. Bradford is my last name. But for the stage, I use my first and middle, Jeffrey Dean. So I changed it to that a couple years ago, and so it's Jeffrey Dean. Oh no, I went solo back about 7 years. I guess I keep asking Kim, and she says it's been like 6. I think it's been a little longer. I think it's been like 7 years that I've gone solo. But I was with Jeffrey James and the Wanting Gang, the full band. I had a full band, and I was the head of the band or whatever. And so, but I had a lot of opportunities being up in the mountain town up in Mammoth Lakes, California, Central Cal, on the Eastern Sierras, little 4 square mile town. But I realized I'm going, gosh, I can get more work doing solos on the side, you know, plus keeping the band going, because we had bigger gigs playing up in Tahoe, playing Carson City, Reno. We got some pretty big gigs. We did some shows for Kid Rock and Uncle Kracker out in Mule Days thing. And so anyways, long story short, I started doing solo, but the band, or my bass player and my drummer, caught on. He didn't say anything to me, but I heard a couple little things, like bass player Neil, he would say something like, well, I guess, you know, I heard him over talking to somebody. He kind of talked about, you know, out of both ends of his mouth, and I overheard him. He's going, yeah, I guess Jeffrey likes to play. Jeffrey wants to play the coffee shops now, just because I said I was doing some solo gigs. And so, yeah, it could run your band. If you're in a band and you want to go solo, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if you should just keep it to yourself, or if you've got your finger on top of your boys in the band, or they don't care at all. You know, because I think they were afraid that I was just going to like go solo and just leave the band. But come to find out, I was kind of on my way to leaving the two boys, because they started fucking up. They started using drugs, they started getting into drugs. And there was like a few times I had a show in Reno, and it wasn't good. It was very good. I mean, we never had big arguments or anything like that, but we were not on the same page. So I cut them loose. And as soon as I found out they were using, I cut them loose. And listen, I got involved with the shit back in the 80s, you know, back in the day. So, I mean, I get it, you know, but dude, when you're in your like 40s, 50s, isn't it time to like kind of grow out of that bullshit? You know, really? I mean, all you're doing is just spinning your wheels, or if you're going anywhere, you're going backwards. It don't work. Don't work. And same with drinking. I mean, you know, me and Kim have a cocktail or a beer once, a couple times a week. That's it. Or if I'm at the gig, Kim will go, do you want your beer in the middle of after the first set? And I go, perfect. And he goes, yeah. She goes, I'll get you a beer at 6 o'clock. I get one beer, and that's it for the whole night. I just milk that beer, and that's all. It loosens me up a little bit after I've warmed up and whatever, but that's it. I don't go any further than that. And I never was a big drinker, but just be careful, man. Just get your priorities straight. And you know, this is a business. It's a business. You're a product. You're selling yourself. So yeah, you don't want to do it half-ass, right? Just get out there and do it, and clean yourself up. But yeah, so just be careful if you're in a band and you want to go solo. That's your call, and I think you should. You're just spreading more love around. So anyways, do it. But I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if anybody, you have a Pacific pickle that you're caught in with the band, and you're more than welcome to send me, ask me a question, how I would handle that particular situation. I'd let you know how I handle it. I have no problem doing that. So God bless you guys, man. Thanks for the love, the support of this channel, and yeah, maybe one day we'll get to 1,000. I am starting to climb. It's starting to climb. The channel's starting to climb a little bit, which is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. And but anyways, most importantly, practice, get your chops up, and because it puts even a bigger smile on people's faces out there. And you know, if you only knew, I think a lot of artists out there, they don't realize what they do to the crowd. You know, and it doesn't matter what level you play at or whatever, because when they hear those songs, they hear somebody that's got the balls to get up there and do that in front of everybody, they respect that. And you put a smile on their face, and you end up letting them forget about the bullshit that's going on this year for a couple hours, you know? So that's that. So take care, peace, love you, and we'll get you next week. Ciao for now.